Hey beautiful biscuits, welcome back to the Wholesome Feed. If you are new here, I'm Rose Kelly. Hi! I am a romance and erotic author who happens to also do social media, so I'm on Instagram, I'm on here on YouTube. Occasionally I post to Book Talk on TikTok, but I do all the social media platforms. I also have a Patreon page that is all about primal living your best, most amazing, happiest life. How to prioritize happiness, which I thought fit in with this video. So, I have been a miserable, sad, non-Fancy Nancy. My 3-year-old has been super into watching Fancy Nancy lately. That and Peppa. Oh my goodness. So I just have that lingo in my mind. I have just not had the vibe. I had this amazing year in, I think it was 2022. Yeah, last year was 23. So 2022, like spring, summer 2022, you know when you hit your energetic vibe. I don't know how floofy and crystal loving all of you biscuits are, but it just like I'd hit that manifesting happiness. It just really, the energy was really good in my life. And then I moved and it turned my whole life upside down. It became really chaotic and, you know, other things happened and it's just been a lot of chaos energy, not happiness energy. For the last like year and a half, going on 2 years, which has made me dig really deep. It's been surprisingly good for my Patreon because it's made me really have to research and try out all these different methods of not just manifesting, but really of how to make more space in your life for happiness. You know, are you designing a life to be the busiest, most productive working mom ever? That everybody's going to go, oh, how do you not burn out? Let's pat you on the shoulder for just doing everything all the time and not enjoying anything. Or are you curating a life and the elements in your life for happiness? And I think some people can really enjoy busyness. But generally speaking, those are short seasons because we all burn out from that. Everyone I talk to, everyone, it's amazing how across the board, I'm trying to think if there's anybody, I can't think of anyone, this is not true, that I've spoken to in the last like 6 months. Everyone seems to be looking for making space in their life for happiness, which means slowing down. And that's a hard one to take, right? Especially if you are a parent of multiple kids and maybe they have school, they have after school activities, they have sports, they have things on the weekends, they have play dates, you have work, you have social functions within work, you have maybe a social life too. You need time to just decompress as a parent. That's incredibly hard. It's hard to fit it all in. And I'm here to say, you can't have it all. You can't do it all. And I know that's so painful because we were told, right? We millennial women were told, if you hustle hard enough, you can have it all and do it all. And I really think that that is a misconception. I think it's an outright lie. I really do. I think so many women I meet, especially moms, we are so burnt out from trying to do it all. And we aren't happy. We aren't enjoying the moments. You know, the years flutter by. Our children are growing up so fast. And are we making any space in our lives for what actually matters? So I am on a mission this year of cutting back, slowing down, and savoring. Every year I pick a word for my year to try and focus on what I'm manifesting that year. And this year is to savor. And it has set me on a course that was a little unexpected. Like this time last year, I was not thinking of the life changes that I think I'm going to be making. But it really feels aligned with making more space in my life for happiness. So the first thing you have to do if you really are committed to this is you have to slow down. You have to cut things out of your schedule. I've been kind of ruthless in cutting things out of my schedule. And that has included, you know, my kids' things that they do. That has included my work. That has included, you know, adventures and things that might be fun, but sorry biscuits, that was a cough break because as you know, I've had bronchitis for I don't even know how long at this point. If you followed along on Instagram, you saw my sick video of like, it just started in February and it's just been going since with somebody in the household. yeah, I've really had to be so cutthroat about what am I keeping in, what am I letting go of. And it's hard to know because sometimes you look back on what you cut out and you go, oh, I regret that. That wasn't the right thing. But I wouldn't have known that unless I cut it out, unless I took that off the calendar, unless I simplified. Because it's really hard to assess what kind of space you need in your life, what your happiness quotient is, unless you can slow down enough, stop being so rushed all over and so all over the place, for you to sit with yourself and really think, this is my happiness. These are my things. And once you get there, you've got to make a list. And I'm going to go into lots of details in May about this on my Patreon page. This month on Patreon, we've been doing a whole month of your Primal Home Spring Revamp. So we are doing energetic, we are doing physical cleaning, we are doing our emotional space in our homes as self-care on there, how to reconnect with the primal, how to have fun with it. Sometimes we lose the fun and the zest that we have for our home and our lives, and that goes with making space and things. Once you have that, once you've made that space and you've slowed down enough, you've got to find 5 things that you're going to prioritize. What are 5 things that bring you happiness? For me, I've really learned to prioritize slow mornings with the kids, because they really thrive on that. I actually like to get up and get going, get my work done in the morning, clean the house, but they do so much better throughout the whole day if I give them a slow morning where we cuddle and we talk. Maybe we read some books. We make some breakfast together as a family. We frequently make hot cocoa together because I have my little hot cocoa primal food blend that I make. And that has made such a big difference. So that's been one of my priorities. One of my other priorities has been really getting into the regenerative farming and gardening. Biscuits, if you are new here or if you just haven't watched a bunch of my more recent videos, the last 2 years I have been slowly creating a regenerative fruit farm and a glamping business, which really burnt me out because I did that on top of all of my work and having a 1-year-old at the time when I started. So I've had to pull back on that and just let it be. And now this spring I finally feel like I'm ready to kind of bound back into doing some more of that gardening. So quiet mornings for me, gardening for me is really important. Moving my body and eating better. So taking physical care of myself has been this year. I gained so much weight the last 2 years. I'm as heavy as I have been while pregnant with the kids. And I don't think there's a right or wrong size, right? Or weight for people at all. You just know your body, right? If you're healthy or not. And so this year I'm really prioritizing that. That is something that I'm making space for in my life because it gives me a lot of happiness. And physically, it makes my body just feel so much better. So you can pick out different things. You don't have to share them if they're your private things. You can leave them in the comments down below if you were like, these are the 5 things that make me happy, Rose. I know I'm totally ready to do them. Because it makes such a difference when you actually realize what does make you happy. How much time and effort have you spent in your life thinking about what legitimately makes you happy? Are you running away constantly and trying new things to avoid actually processing what makes you happy and how to make the space for it? Or are you sitting still with yourself and giving yourself the grace to discover and make mistakes and figure out what that life balance is, Because that's not always easy, right? That can be really difficult to not just flee from emotional situations that are super hard and to really, really put the effort in. So try those 2 things. Switch up how your spring and summer schedule looks like. For me, it means signing up for less summer camps and things because you have to commit where I am for summer camp in January, February, or they will be completely, just completely booked. It's insane. And summer's past, I've booked my son for a bunch of fun stuff. And what I find that we really do better with this summer is having a season of being outdoors, being in nature, decompressing, and really spending super valuable time together. Because I remind myself that as a mom, you don't have that many summers with your kids when they're little, right? They grow fast. And part of, for me, making space for happiness in my life has really been slowing down enough to savor things. Because you can be super successful, you can make a ton of money, you can be busy all the time, but when you lay down your head at night on your pillow, are you feeling like you savored your day? Are you feeling like you survived it, or you got through it and you didn't even notice it? You didn't notice any of the small things. You don't know quite what you dressed your kid in that morning. You can't remember. You didn't have any meaningful conversations. That it didn't fill up your soul. Maybe it filled up your wallet. Maybe it filled up your ego's need for recognition. But are you filling up your soul every day with how you live? And I know our society doesn't reward you for filling up your soul every day as a lifestyle, but my God, is it worth it? It is beautiful to focus on your primal self and fulfilling that dream of just savoring your moments. Okay, biscuits, I've talked for quite a long time on this, but I want to come on and share because this has been my journey the last couple years. Is I've really been on the hunt for how to practically make space, right? Not when you're a single lady with a ton of money that just has all the free time in the world, but when you are a busy working mom, a working artist like I am, how do you legitimately, realistically make space for happiness in your life? I will go talk over more on Patreon. I would love if you come and joined us this month for our Primal Homemaker series on there. It is so much fun. It's a little goofy, a whole lot of knowledge, a little saucy, and always super playful. So I'll see you over on Patreon.